Hey guys, Halloween Dan here, doing a really quick video today because I just kind of wanted to, it's a kind of a two-part of this video because the real reason I wanted to make a video was to talk a bit about my hunt and what I've got planned this year. It's a very rough sketch that might change and adapt with time depending on what I manage to get or things that might change and shift. But I just kind of wanted to sort of let everyone know the keel I'm on and the things I'm kind of planning to do this year. But the second thing I wanted to do in this video was say a big thank you again. And so let's just get straight into this. So first things first, I've got a thank you to say, and it's a thank you to all you guys out there. I'm not going to make a big song and a dance about this again like I did in the last two previous videos, but I'm kind of in this position where I feel like I have to say something because I've just crossed the 300 threshold. Ah! Yeah, I know. So like literally a month and a bit ago, I was talking about how I'd crossed over into 200. And within that space of time, I've suddenly ended up with 300 subscribers. I'm not quite sure how or why it's happened in July and into August, but it has. So I'm very, very thankful. So if you're amongst that new group of subscribers, that's a massive thank you from me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to like this channel, and let's just see how it grows. Now I really wanted to talk about my hunt for this year. Now this is a real brief sketch, and the sketch I'm about to show you is terrible. So please, this is literally a 2-minute sketch that I've done. I'm gonna have to do a better blueprint than this. But I just kind of wanted to sort of show you guys where I'm thinking of going this year with my hunt and the sort of things I'm thinking of doing. So the first picture you'll be seeing about now is of a sort of looking down on my house and my very small narrow front yard, which is what I decorate every year. You can see kind of from that diagram that I don't have an awful lot of room to play with. My front garden is quite narrow, and so I don't have loads and loads of room, but I like to pack stuff into that front yard as best I can. And I've managed to do it, and there is always space. I can always move things around a little bit. So starting on the left-hand side of the drawing, I think I'm going to keep this area pretty much as it has been for the last 2 or 3 years. This is kind of like my witch's grove. The only thing I'm going to change around here, I think, is I'm toying with the idea. I have mentioned before, I have one inflatable, which is an inflatable tree. And I'm kind of over it. I think I'm not going to put it into my haunt this year. I think it takes up too much room, and I think as well, sometimes it doesn't always inflate brilliantly. So I think I'd rather dedicate that space, use the space I have better. So I'm really going to make it a bit of a witchy, slightly harvesty side. I might see if I can get hold of some corn stalks, maybe a hay bale, maybe, or just some straw. And I'm going to have my stirring witch. She's going to be in her little witch house again. Though this year I think I'm just literally going to strap together some bamboo canes and black plastic wrap all the way around it and kind of spookify it that way. So it's a slightly more simplistic witch's house that doesn't take up quite so much room on the overall facade. Then I've got my static witch. She's going to stand nearby. I'm thinking about constructing a kind of a very, very simple cauldron sort of a setup with these sort of sticks tied together and a cauldron hanging beneath. I do have a pretty small cauldron, but I think it will still go in quite well. And then as well, I was kind of thinking that my scary scarecrow could go and live over there, kind of goes with the harvest theme a little bit. I might give that area a little tiny bit more interest because it is the smallest part of my front garden. Then you've got the central portion, which is my porch area. Here is going to be home to my big 7-foot spider, as it is every single year, because it just looks so good up there. And in that section as well, I'm thinking of trying to get hold of some beef netting to create some really cool looking cobwebs coming down from the porch, and possibly heading to what I am planning to make this year, which I'll show you in more detail, some brand new entrance pillars and some form of an archway that links the entrance pillars together. But I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Then moving to the right, you've got my small graveyard area, the cemetery area. Here I'm going to have my cemetery tombstones that I made last year, Noah Escape and I'm a Goner. I'm also planning to add maybe a couple of other new tombstones as well, one of which I'm toying with the idea of trying to turn into a sort of a moving tombstone, but I'll get into that in a second. Also, this area will be dominated by what I'm hoping to be my main purchase for this year, which will be the Costco 10-foot Reaper. That's what I'm hoping to be able to get this year, and I think that spot will look amazing with him in it. But if it doesn't work out, then that spot will just be taken up by my homemade Reaper from last year, and I might just have to adapt him a little bit. This area too will be full of bones and bits of old skulls and things like that. My lanterns that I made, this one in particular, will probably go into that area of the haunt. I might make a few more. And also the Groundbreaker prop that I bought from the range the other day, he'll probably go there too. Even though he's a pumpkin, so it's kind of a bit weird, I think he'll kind of look quite cool there for everyone to see. Then kind of moving round to the side on the far right of my haunt, that's the biggest part of my haunt. I've drawn it really poorly. The grass there is actually, there's quite a bit of grass there, so it's quite a good display area. And it's where in the past I put some of my bigger props like my dragon. So this year as well, I'm going to have my animated phantom is going to be there, just on the edge of the graveyard. I'm going to place some more tombstones in this area. I am toying with the idea of making some kind of a new crypt for the skeletons, banjo skeletons to sit on again. But I might literally just buy a box that looks a bit like a crypt or even a treasure chest, because that then goes into my next part of this haunt, which is a slightly more piratey theme. So transitioning from the graveyard theme into a slightly more piratey theme. And this part of the haunt will be dominated by what you can see in the top right hand corner of this is a really poorly laid out, what is supposed to represent a pirate ship. I am planning to build a very small mock-up of a pirate ship. It's not going to be very advanced. We're not getting cannons blowing smoke all over the place, but it should still look kind of cool. And here's where I'm going to put my Costco pirate skeleton. I'm also planning to build a kind of a pop-up with a little motor I've got, so I might have like a little skull popping up out of a barrel. And here's where the dragon's also got to be, because I thought it'd be quite cool to incorporate the dragon into this part of the haunt, so he kind of looks like he's attacking the pirate ship and causing it to sink. I'm also planning to buy a whole host of new floodlights this year, maybe 2 more, as well as a light that creates a kind of a rippling water effect, which will look really good around the pirate ship, obviously make it look like it's in the ocean and sort of sinking, so that'd be kind of cool. Oh, one last thing I did forget to mention is as well, across the graveyard, tied from my porch to a tree that sits nearby, I am also going to tie up my techie flying ghost. So he's actually going to be flying out from the graveyard and actually across the path where people can walk, so he'll actually fly over people's heads. So he will actually be one of the few things that's actually outside of my garden for at least a little bit of the haunt. On the back of my sort of blueprint, I've also drawn 3 of the new things I'm planning to build this year. I am planning to build some new pillars. They're the first thing I'm planning to do. It's very similar to what I've had before. I am sort of in between, sort of thinking, can I make more out of cardboard? It's just easier for me, easier to make things out of cardboard boxes for me. I have a lot of cardboard boxes I can use. And if I can weatherproof them well enough and add some foam details to sort of make it look more realistic, I think I can make these pillars look really good. You can see I've kind of created a little sort of shelf that sticks out from the front of the pillar, which is where I'll put my 2 flame lights. And then sticking out from the top, I am actually planning to create a sort of archway, maybe just out of bamboo canes painted black, and then the letters of Medway Manor, which is the name for my haunt. Further along, I've got a foam. I'm going to make another tombstone. This one I'm thinking I like the sort of Celtic cross design, and this is the one where I'm going to create a sort of base for the tombstone to sit into. And I think if I have a drill lay on its side with a small sort of wheel with a bit pointing out of it, I can actually create enough motion for the tombstone to sort of jump up and then back again. Just a very slight motion, but I think I can do it, so I'm going to give that a go. And then also your very basic drawing of my attempt at a pop-up skeleton that should be in some form of a barrel. I'm not going to lie, it might just be a bin, but he will be popping up and out of this barrel, sort of just looking like he's sort of stuck in a barrel, maybe frightened because the ship is on his sinking. Back on the other page, you can see as well a really rudimentary sketch of the pirate ship I'm planning to build. You can see that really I'm just building the bow of the ship. It's literally just the bow of the ship. I am planning to have maybe up to about a 4-meter mast with a sail on it as well, all tied down with ropes and all the rest of it so it doesn't blow about all over the place. And here will be my Costco pirate skeleton, of course, and also this pop-up skeleton in the barrel. Stud, it's got to be made mainly out of pallets and maybe some black shrink wrap so you can't see through the pallets and the gaps in the pallets, because it's got to be a real rough and ready pirate ship. Really looks destroyed and broken apart. That's the look I kind of want to go for. But I think it will work, and I think this will be a real sort of focal point for the Haunt. I think people will really get a kick out of seeing this great big mast especially, and then the pirate ship looking like it's sinking. I'm going to maybe hide the smoke machine in this too, so it looks like smoke's billowing out of it because it's being attacked by the dragon. And also I was thinking of buying some more flame effect lights as well, and like I say, this ocean light that should project on it, which should make it look really cool. Lighting in general is something I really want to perfect this year. It's really hard to get right with my house because it sits right on a main road and there's lots of big street lights that light it up, so lighting is kind of difficult to get right, but I am going to try my hardest to improve on the lighting because it does make a big difference. Also, a sound system, I've got a couple of speakers already. I might get another one so that I can sort of have different sort of sound effects for different parts of my yard haunt, like a graveyard and witches on one side, maybe pirates and ocean sounds on the other. So I don't know. We'll just see how that goes. Anyway, guys, I just really wanted to briefly get you up to speed as to what I'm thinking, where I'm going. There's going to be lots of other things I'm going to have forgotten to mention here that will also be added into this haunt. There's loads of other things I've got that I will find a home for somewhere. I am toying with the idea of adding a projection type thing to my haunt, but I haven't figured out exactly what or how or where or why yet, so I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about that at the minute, but I may introduce some sort of a projection type haunt element to my haunt, but I haven't decided yet. And then generally just another great big thank you to you guys. I can't believe I'm at 300 subscribers. In the same way I couldn't believe I'd reached 100 and then I couldn't believe I reached 200, I definitely can't believe I've reached 300. So massive thank you to all you guys out there, both old and new. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for subscribing. And we're in for a real good Halloween this year. I'm sure of it. I hope for it. I just hope. The thing I pray for more than anything, there's two things I'm praying for. One, that I get my hands on that Costco Reaper, because if I don't, I will really be really upset. But also that the weather plays ball this year. I really hope, just for once, just for that week in the run up to Halloween and Halloween itself, I would just love a dry, non-windy spell of weather, because it just makes all the difference. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Sorry it's a bit longer than I thought it was going to be today. I just wanted to go over that plan with you, and I will see you in the next one. Keep it spooky. Bye.